All Ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Don't be scared, y'all. We ain't scared. We showed up.
Yes, sir.
We showed up. We ain't playing with y'all, man. All Ball TV. You know who I be, man. I just hit my music sometimes, and that's what I show it to the crowd, man.
Yes, sir.
Do it twice. It's nice. I love you, Stream y'all. Thank you very much. You see who we got? We got our guy in the corner still. In this corner, 24. In this corner, 24. I call him Ant-Man, the real Ant-Man.
The real Ant-Man, no doubt.
Come on, man. Got Ant from In This Corner 24 boxing.
In This Corner boxing 24. Ant-Man, the real Ant-Man from the BX. Let's go.
Oh, remember the BX? Let's go. What part of the BX?
Uptown, Co-op City.
Oh, all the way over there. Oh.
Yeah.
It's dicey. People think you just walk around like it's nothing. Be careful. I know about Co-op City, man. Real official dudes. Hey, listen, man. He talking to me, man. I get around a little bit. Yes, come on, sir. Man. But business is business. This past Saturday, we had one of the most major fights in the last 10 years that I can remember. Terrence Bud Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez. Got him up out of here.
Yes.
It happens. Justin C, 66. It was entertaining. Slightly. We'll get to that in a second. We did have our predictions. We both had Canelo winning. So did a lot of people. All Ball's not here. He's in traveling.
From the fight.
Oh, correct. He was there in the house. He said it was a buzz. He had all my people in a fury. He's lucky he didn't get jumped by my people. What's wrong with him? Man, the Lions Den going crazy. But Bud Crawford, he stamped his legacy. We loved him going into the fight. There were reasons why we didn't think he would win, and maybe we'll get into that and just react to the fight. What were you thinking? What was your reaction from the fight?
Man, so I'm watching the fight. I'm in the sports bar uptown here in the Bronx, and I'm in there with a couple of people, man. And first couple of rounds, Canelo was being patient. The first round was like nobody really did too much. You know what I mean? But then the second round, Canelo started, going to the body, throwing the right hand. He was looking good. I said, okay. Third round, Crawford started coming back a little bit. And then everything after the fourth round, it just shifted. Crawford was moving a lot, unusual. He was moving a lot. Some people said he was running. I said to myself, yeah, he is moving a lot. But when he sits down, when he stays in position, when he's in the pocket, he's tagging Canelo. He's throwing combinations, 1, 2, 3, jab, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He's moving out. He's giving them angles. Canelo can't land. He's throwing wild. When he throws to the body, Crawford is leaning. He's catching it. You know what I mean? Like it was like masterclass, bro. And I'm like, wow. What bothered me was like, where's your adjustment, bro? I don't know what Reynoso was telling him, Canelo in the corner. Where's the adjustments? What are you going to do different? Because what you're doing is not working. You're looking for one shot. And I was expecting Canelo to come in with the jab, go back to the jab, get back to the head movement, feints. That's what I thought I was going to see, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it. So, masterclass performance by Bud.
I think beyond that, as soon as I saw the weigh-in, I thought to myself, if he's smaller than Canelo and they rehydrate, I don't see it being that far off. That was the first sign I should have backed off my damn prediction. And then also going into it, we all thought that Crawford was the more technically more skilled boxer. Talking about how Canelo's whole style changed from day one to now, where probably not in his prime as much. Crawford proven black don't crack. He's
That's
out here
right.
38 years old, not playing any games,
That's
super
right.
agile still.
Mm-hmm.
And going into it, I just thought Canelo's experience with the light heavyweights. It's a
Right.
lot of, I'm thinking he's working on hitting those guys. And in the fight, I thought he started too slow, like you said. And I didn't think Crawford was running as much as Canelo's style is stalking you. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
back up like that unless he's getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never a big Canelo guy. Triple G, I thought going into the first fight in the trilogy, I thought Triple G was the better, just more prepared for that moment, especially being bigger. And
Mm-hmm.
but if you see the Triple G fight versus Canelo number one in the second fight, that's when I saw like, yo, Canelo totally changed. What is this? Agile,
Mm-hmm.
ducking the defense, and
Mm-hmm.
now going against Crawford is like I just totally discounted Crawford can do all that. That's what Crawford does is
Yeah.
more agile naturally. And I was disappointed in Canelo, but maybe I shouldn't be because his plan was to, like you said, first 2 rounds I'm gonna feel him out. And I thought he should have been way more aggressive. If you are heavier than him, are you worried that you're not as much of a power guy? We both know going into the fight, neither one of them had the knockout. I saw Roy Jones say that, neither one of these guys are known for that one punch knockout like that. So, what is the real disadvantage here? Another sign that I should have went with Crawford, to be honest, because where are the advantages laying for Canelo if it's just I've been in the light heavyweight longer than you, I've been in this weight longer than you, even though that's a big factor. Jesus, Crawford just put up a superb fight. You got to give him all the credit in the world.
No
He's
doubt. No doubt.
I don't think he was running. I think he could do anything he wanted to in the ring because he's more athletic. So, and he showed it. And after a while, it was like Canelo could not get a combination. Then he was starting to go for the haymakers, the one-shot deals. And that's when I was like, oh, you're a little desperate. And they were like, once I see boxers going for that, the home run punch that's like over, you can explain that better to me, and that
Mm-hmm.
over the head, over the shoulder punch like that. I'm like, that's a wild punch. You're like,
Right. Right.
you're desperate, Crawford, and certainly undisciplined. If his punch wasn't, if he didn't pack that much, Crawford could have easily danced with you some more while you're taking a swing like that and really do damage to you. And the other thing I noticed was that I loved. This is when I knew Crawford. Listen, he gained even more respect. This is why De La Hoya started when he fought Trinidad and he started dancing those last, at the end of each round, even though he won the fight. Crawford wasn't dancing.
Nah.
He wanted that knockout, and
Right. 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 He was trying. He was going for it. He was going for it. And that's why I say I feel like he was he was boxing, right? But he was moving more than usual. I never seen him move like that. That's my point. Okay, he never. If you look at his fight, and I watched a lot of his fights, or maybe most of them, he never moves like that, right? So he was moving a lot. Borderline, people were saying, "Oh, he's running, he's running." I said, "Well, nah, not really running, but he's moving a lot, definitely. But when he sets down, when he's in the pocket, when he's standing there, he's hitting him with the combination." Again, the only thing for me with Canelo is if you know that you're fighting Terrence Crawford and you said at the press conference that you're prepared for everything and you're going to show everything, then why didn't you do it? Because that's what he said. Now, I don't have no control over that, or neither do you, but that's what he said. He said, you're going to see everything. So I'm thinking I'm going to see everything, but I only saw one thing. You trying to land one big shot. So Crawford, I think what's interesting that I just learned today, Bomac said in an interview that they trained and they were studying Canelo for 6 months. They were studying him before that, but they trained for 6 months and were studying how to beat him. You got Bomac, you got Red Spikes, and you got the Spanish brother in their corner. I don't know his name, but the three of them came up with that plan on how to beat Canelo. So they were training for 6 months to get this done, and they did a great job because they knew everything Canelo was going to do, man. And it's about timing, man. They knew what he was going to do, man. They knew what Canelo was going to throw. They knew how he was going to throw it, and they knew that they could get him frustrated. And he said, Bomac said before the fight, after 6 or 7, he gonna get tired, and that's what they was banking on, and it worked.
Big time.
It worked.
And I mean, when it goes as planned, this is where I don't know if we perceive Crawford any differently, but we have to, in a way that the world now has to, because he's not, even with De La Hoya, even with just a bunch of these Mexican fighters, once the country and the people support him like that, you have, God bless the dead, Ricky Hatton passed away the other day, which is,
rest in peace to Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, I mean, he's legendary for his country. Even the way they were showing highlights and how he's better on a mic than Floyd, to promote a fight, but you have the country behind you. And with Crawford, it seems like a lot of these guys, Floyd is the last guy, I say a black dude from this country, is an African American, who was before him really captured before Floyd. It was Mike Tyson, maybe. And then before that, Ali, like that level
there you go.
Right, because he's
in that order.
Right, because Floyd, that's where he gets the GOAT thing from. Like, yo, bro, I captured y'all. I don't care what you got to say to me. I brought everybody to the money. I made everybody money, no matter what you think about my 50-0. I ruined boxing, which I hate when they say that.
Right.
Because he used it as a way to put himself there. But my point is, Crawford really doesn't have that angle of marketing. But we know as boxers, just as sports fans, we go, he's supposed to be in anybody's conversation. I don't know what people are talking about. We're talking about boxing. Crawford's in it. But has that changed as far as the GOAT list in general? Of his era, is he the GOAT? How does that work? And then, of course, all time. And where do you think Crawford's falling?
Okay, so I have my own list. So I don't want to use my list to my personal list, because I didn't have Crawford in my top 5 of my personal list, right? And I'm not going to say I still do, honestly, but I will say I could put him in the top 10, right? It definitely changed. This win definitely changes him and puts him in the top 10.
All time?
I'm still not putting him in my top 5 all time, yeah.
Wow.
I could put him in, you have to, because he is the first fighter in the 4-belt era, right? The 4-belt era, where you got WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO. Those are the organizations, right? Remember, it used to be in the time of Ali, it was only WBA, WBC, right? Then IBF came on a little bit later, and now we got WBO. So he's the first fighter in the 4-belt. So that's history in the making by itself. Nobody has done that, right? 140, 147, and now 168. So everything changes. You have to adjust the list no matter what you have. And so he's definitely, I'm going to say, top 10 to 15 all time. I'm going to put him in there. Top 10 to 15 all time, right? I still don't have him in my top 5, but definitely top 10.
You care to mention the top 5, or?
I can mention it, but again, I didn't want to, because I don't want people to, but it's my personal list. You don't have to agree with it. That's the thing, right? One thing about boxing is you could have your favorite fighter. I could have mine. Me going for Canelo didn't mean I dislike Bud, because I like Bud Crawford. I want to make that clear. I like Bud Crawford. I knew he was going to beat Errol Spence. I was happy for him. I knew what he came from. I heard his story. So him beating Canelo didn't make me mad. I just went for Canelo, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to make that clear. So my top 5 is Sugar Ray Robinson, 200 total fights, 179 wins, 19 losses, 108 KOs. Like, I mean, who did that? You know what I'm saying? The greatest, right? Then I got Muhammad Ali, the best heavyweight all time. I got Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the best middleweight all time. I got Floyd, Pretty Boy. I liked him better, Mayweather, but he turned into Money Mayweather, right? 50-0.
Yes.
50-0. Came from featherweight division all the way up to 154. And then I got my man, none other than Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. That's my top 5.
2 similar guys, just Floyd more power, but Sweet Pea's You supposed to, anybody who's athletic getting in the ring, that's I think that's the first guy you study. Modern day, you got to study, and then of course Floyd, but Floyd's the master of that.
That's right.
And then you can't really argue. Like, how the hell can you argue that list? You know what I'm saying? And for Crawford to even be mentioning that's why it's like, oh damn, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I can't ever dispute. I need to touch up on my boxing history a little more. I'm doing that with the NFL now. I'm getting ready. My man, shout out to my man Sal. He disrespected me. I got all these picks wrong for the NFL this week. I said, all right, you got it.
Okay.
My picks were horrible. My Crawford pick, horrible. I should have picked Crawford this whole weekend. But listen.
It's okay.
One thing about me, I'm a student, and when I start going, I'm gonna start sending receipts. I want my respect back. But this is all about Crawford's respect. How about Canelo now? Where does he rank all time? Does it lower? Is there something about me? You go, you know what? I overlooked this, and maybe he's not top 20 or 30, whatever he was considered before.
So let me say this, right? That's my top 5 all time. Now, if you want to talk about a current list, you want to talk about a current list?
Sure.
So my current list, are you ready for that, or you want to talk about something else before we get to that?
No, with Canelo all time, because he was
Canelo all time,
the greatest Mexican fight of all time. What you said, which I kind of was like, hold on, over De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez, like
absolutely. I had Canelo as the greatest Mexican fighter all time. I don't care what anybody says about that Chavez thing, because Chavez, if you look at his record was padded. He fought a bunch of nobodies for years until he got to Sweet Pea Whitaker and Meldrick Taylor. Losses that he should have had on his record. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care if he had over 100 fights. He had his record was padded.
Right.
Once he got to them, he lost, and they still gave it to him. So I'm not with that. De La Hoya, great fighter, but he lost to Manny Pacquiao. He got the nerve to clown Canelo on YouTube about him losing to Crawford, but you lost to Manny Pacquiao. It came up from 118 pounds, 112 pounds.
Right.
Come on, how you doing that?
Right.
Naturally smaller man, how you doing that? He totally dominated you, so that ain't cool. So
De La
Hoya,
made him retire.
Exactly. So De La Hoya, yeah, one of the greatest. He's one of the great. But Canelo, I got Canelo as the greatest Mexican fighter ever. And yeah, his ranking has went down now because of the loss. But not only because of the loss, it's how he lost. He got dominated.
Yeah.
So that definitely pulls your rank down. I'm still gonna say he's the greatest Mexican fighter for me. But as far as current in the list, current, yeah, he's definitely down. His numbers is 10. He's I don't even know now. Is he in the top 10 right now of current fighters? 10 or less. He's definitely down.
And what's next for both of them? Because after this fight, the first thing we talked about, shout out to all Bogus, he said, yo, what happens if Crawford loses? And then we go, okay, well, what happens if Canelo loses? And then I think we didn't even really touch on, well, what if one of them loses in this fashion? And we would have thought Crawford would have lost in this fashion, like in terms of not being able to win and having no chance. Like he just but Crawford showed that. So should there be a rematch? And if not, what should be the next step for both gentlemen?
Well, I heard earlier, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Canelo is gonna exercise the rematch.
Wow.
Now, I don't think that's a dumb idea,
right?
Because I'm sure, he's thinking, man, I gotta get this back at least before I retire. I can't go out like that.
Right.
And I'm sure the fans want to see it. The money's gonna be put behind it, and he can make adjustments. I don't know if he can win it, but he definitely can make some adjustments and make it a better fight. So I don't think that's a bad idea. Outside of that, at 168, it's really honestly, I mean, the guys are younger and stronger. I don't see him beating like Hamza Shiraz, the one that stopped Edgar Berlanga in July. I don't see him beating him. So, I mean, I think that's the smart. If he's going to continue, I think that's the smartest thing for him to do. Get the rematch and see if he can avenge it.
Okay, so I think money-wise, that makes sense. Canelo showing he, the same way Floyd beat Castillo the second fight and just dominated him and was like, hold on a second, I am Floyd. Right. Canelo, same thing, similar against Triple G, second fight. I hear you talking, guys, but I'm still greatest Mexican fighter of all time, according to our guy over here, Ant-Man, and plenty of people.
That's right.
And this would be, I think he's gonna hear all this talking, and he was very, maybe overly complimentary, saying that Crawford's automatically better than Floyd, which is, we could have all the criticisms of Floyd we want to. I think Floyd is, come on, in this upper echelon category all time. And Canelo just maybe being classy, and also he doesn't want to spark anything, but he understands how the money moves. I would want to see a rematch, even though this was dominant. I just think it has a chance for two guys like this. We're talking about all-time greats, and nobody else wants to fight. And that's in every sport, as a matter of fact. Because in basketball, same thing. It's one-on-one. Who's defending LeBron? Who's defending KD? Where's the pride at? And it's more crazier in boxing because it's we're using them for our entertainment, and this is a life-altering sport. So I would want to see that, put pressure on the Tank Davises of the world to do the right thing. Stop talking about Crawford like that and just go fight him. This is fighting. You can't get crazier than cashing a check that your mouth can't cash. That's what you do when you really combat like that. So I totally agree with you from that standpoint.
And let me just say, not to cut you off, right? See, so now what, Crawford made less money, significantly less money than Canelo for this fight. But now, going back to the table, Canelo's still gonna get his, right? But Crawford gonna get paid. He gonna get paid double, triple now because of what he just did. So now going back to the table, he can demand what he wants. Basically, Turkey gonna give him that money.
You think he can demand what he wants? Because it's still, I get it from how can you say, from the standpoint of, I just won, I'm hot right now, and also just being maybe the moral thing, but business wise, Canelo is still the money, so I can see him getting significantly making more money. But I don't know if Crawford will make, like, if they flip it. I think Canelo made 85% or 75% of the prize. That will have to come down some, because now part of this rematch is, no, you're fighting the guy you lost to, and I'm bringing a part of this hype as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He can demand more money. They got to give him more money because you're coming off of two big wins, Errol Spence and now Canelo. So now we're not in the same bracket. You got to push. I gotta demand more money. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you could give me anything less. I still might not make more than Canelo because he is who he is, and they already got a contract with Turkey, but you got to have in a contract with Crawford, and I'm sure they talked about that. Okay, if I win this fight and we come back and it is a rematch, possibly we're going higher. So yeah, he can basically do that.
And we're selfish about that because we want to see these guys fight. We want to see these guys perform and just bring the pride back to boxing.
And he deserves it. He deserves it, man, off of what he did, because boxers, the thing with boxers is they get paid off their worth. Right? Okay. And he's undefeated. Remember now, he's still undefeated. He's 42-0.
Right.
So he got to get paid off his worth. He wasn't getting paid off his worth in the time that he was with Bob Arum. But now, since he broke free from Bob Arum, he did a little bit better. But now, come on, man, he beat Errol Spence, who was undefeated, and now you beat Canelo, who's an all-time great. You gotta give me more.
I gotta agree. I can't disagree. And a part of that, of course, is the fact that we got Terrence Crawford, who's now, I don't want to say too little too late, but come on now, they got him down as the #1 pound for pound boxer in the game.
Absolutely.
So that just jumped up because of the Canelo fight, which I think is kind of old school. But we can run through this list real quick about who are the pound for pound best boxers in the game.
Whatever list I mean, read it, but that list is ridiculous. That list is rigged, man. Like I don't never agree. He was already pound for pound to me
number
on that
one
list before this fight.
Okay, but was he pound for pound number one or?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me make sure I pull it up correctly.
The only one you could interchange him with is and people keep using Usyk, right? But I always said David Benavidez. He don't get the respect he should get.
Well, I think with Benavidez, they got our guy basically at number 10, Benavidez. Oh, whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
See, that's whack. That's whack. That's whack. That's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. So you got Terrence Crawford, Usyk, I don't want to say and know his name, Bivol.
Anyway,
Anyway, Bivol, who he tore up Canelo, Better Beef, Artur Better Beef, Shakur Stevenson, number 6. You got Jesse Rodriguez at number 7, Canelo's number 8 still, Junto Nakatani, and Benavidez, you got him at number 10. Is there anything you may disagree with here?
I disagree with a lot. So just looking at that list, okay, Terrence Crawford number 1. I'm not Usyk for me.
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't have him. You could have him as number 2, but he can go down too. Anyway, he's not number 3. He shouldn't be number 3. Dmitry Bivol, absolutely. He could be 2 or 3. Better Biev, he lost to Bivol. He just lost to Bivol. So now he should have dropped even more. Shakur Stevenson is still undefeated, and he's the most duck fighter. So now he got to be, for me, in the top 3. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, good fighter. He should be on the list. Canelo Alvarez is number 8. But now, again, he done dropped. So now he's 10 or more. Nakatani, we don't know. We don't really know nothing about him. No disrespect to him. But we need to see him fight over here in America. We need to see him go up against some competition. They talking about him anyway in Japan, big fight. But again, we got to see his work. We got to see. We do. David Benavidez is top 3. So he definitely shouldn't be number 1. If anything, I would have Benavidez as number 2. Because he fought Caleb Plant, and let me say this, right? And this is why everything is about timing. And I say everything is about timing, right? Think about this. And this is why Crawford is a classy guy, because after the fight, after he got off the podium, the post-fight press conference, and Canelo got up there, they hugged each other, and he gave Canelo back the belts.
Right.
Because remember, Crawford didn't come to 168 to stay there. He just came to get that fight. Everything is about timing. So just think about this. If Canelo, and I got to be honest, it was a duck. If he wouldn't have ducked Benavidez, and he would have fought Benavidez, he possibly would have lost. Crawford would have never got the opportunity. So that's something to think about. But yet on that list, they got Benavidez number 10. That's a crazy list. There's no way. He fought killers. He fought Caleb Plant. He fought Caleb Plant, beat him. He fought Andre, beat him, undefeated. And then, he fought David Morrell.
Andre beat him. Who's the Andre?
Demetrius Andre.
Okay.
Demetrius Andre. He beat him. And then he fought, and this is back to back. And then he fought David Morrell. So, and beat him in a good fight. You know what I mean? So, there's no way he's number 10 on that list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, y'all see the top 10 pound for pound fighters here. Crawford moved up to number 1. Usyk he seems to be on a dominant role all time. The way people talk about him is like he's a monster. I get the same like Klitschko feeling, like we just mentioned him and that's it. What is the difference between, let's say, a Usyk and
well, a lot of people make hype of Usyk because he came from cruiserweight, But when people say that to me, I say, well, Evander Holyfield did that.
I was gonna say that Evander Holyfield went from cruiserweight to heavyweight. So he
did that?
But shouldn't that be? I mean, we're talking about an all-time great now. Another guy to me who's his career is like he fought everybody, Holyfield, and his heavyweight division was insane.
Absolutely.
Usyk didn't have the same guys. He's gonna go through the same competition and talk like
That's what I'm saying.
Roy Jones and Floyd and Crawford now. Does he
That's
get
right.
knocked for that? But are you impressed with Usyk? And I mean, obviously you're impressed. Everybody is, but you're saying, what are you saying about him? You know, style wise, is it because of the opponents, the lack of opponents, or you just don't? You know, what are you not impressed by?
Well, I mean, a lot of people believe that he lost one of those fights with Tyson Fury. They both were very close fights, and a lot of people thought he lost one or two of those. I mean, one of those fights at least.
Mm.
So that's a conversation. As far as his all time, I mean, he's still doing his thing, but I don't see where he would have been dominant in the eras of Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis and them guys, Holyfield, Riddick Bowe would have been a different thing. Again, he came from cruiserweight. Holyfield did that. My man, and may he rest in peace. He died recently as well. One of the best boxers ever coming out of Camden, New Jersey. My man Dwight Braxton, the Camden Buzzsaw. He
Wow.
moved up. He came from cruiserweight as well. He wasn't a champion. He never was a bona fide champion, but he was one of the top contenders and fought anybody. So guys have done that. Usyk is not the only one.
All right. So I just, like I said, I'm touching up on my boxing, my latest boxing analysis, and just trying to keep up with this.
Right.
I know Bivol was a guy who tore up Canelo,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So he top 4, top 5 for him is mandatory for him as well.
Absolutely. He definitely should be in the top 5. He definitely should be in the top 5 after what he did with Canelo, but then also what he did with Beterbiev. He fought him twice. I believe he won the first fight, and he definitely won the second fight. So, yeah, he got to be in the top 5.
Mm.
Special talent.
You heard
And
it.
he laid the recent blueprint on how to beat Canelo. Floyd laid the first blueprint, but he laid the recent blueprint on how to beat Canelo. So you got to give him his props.
Right. And is he light heavyweight or is he?
He's
Yeah,
light
he's light
heavyweight. He's
heavyweight.
175. Yeah.
That's a tough. Light heavyweight sounds crazy. So what's heavyweight? 185, 190?
Well, heavyweight could be anything from 200 pounds. You could be 200, you could be 215, 220, 230. That's why you're talking about making a super heavyweight. But yeah, heavyweight could be 200 and better. Cruiserweight is 190, 175 is light heavyweight, 168 super middleweight, which is what Crawford and Canelo fought at.
Anybody else you think on here deserves more shine? Nakatani, is he Japanese?
Shakur. Nakatani, again, we don't know too much about him, man. We don't know. We got to see him fight over here. We got to see him fight competition over here. We don't know too much about him for him to be in the top 10. And same thing with anyway. We yeah, he did fight. He did beat my man, cool boy Stephen Fulton from Philly. He did beat him. I think cool boy fought Stephen Fulton fought the wrong fight, but I give him credit for beating him. But to have him in the top 3, nah, he's definitely not that.
And so let's talk about Shakur Stevenson, the most duck fighter in your opinion, and in many people's opinion. Let's talk about how that style. I mean, I think of the Winky Wrights of the world, even B-Hop, Bernal Hopkins, even with the executioner style and having a lot of the marketing ploys of going at my people, going crazy on Trinidad and Puerto Rico and in Mexico, the executioner style dress up. But Shakur Stevenson, I don't see too much maybe marketing with him, but maybe he's just strictly business like Terrence Crawford. What do you think about him? What do you foresee with him? What do you think besides it? How do you get around being ducked? And what is great about him?
Well, Shakur Stevenson, man, one of the he got that. He's like a throwback fighter, even though he's young, man. He's 27, 28. He's a throwback fighter, man. He's a southpaw. I think he's the best defensive fighter right now. His defense is better than Bud Crawford. Like, his defense is top notch. Okay. And yeah, he's the most ducked fighter. Cambosis ducked him. Pitbull Cruz ducked him. Tiafimo is ducking him right now. At the post-fight press conference, Tiafimo Lopez asked Crawford, was the layoff that he had, did it contribute to him having a performance like that? And Crawford answered the question, yeah, and he talked. And then he asked him, Tiafimo, he said, when you going to fight my little brother, Shakur? and put him on the spot. And he started making his excuses. So Teofimo running from him too. So he's definitely the most duck fighter. Like I say, he's a great defensive fighter, but he's offensive as well. He can put it in. I was at his fight in July. He was on the card, the co-main event to that Edgar Berlanga fight when he lost. And he fights off the ropes. He fights in the middle of the ring. He could box. He could bang. He could move. He could do it all.
How do you avoid the ducking stuff? How do you get around that in boxing when this ain't the NFL? There's a schedule in place. How do you do that in boxing? And maybe of course we always talk about Dana White and how they can help propel having the mega fights a lot sooner as fans. But how do you, with the current mode and really the history of boxing, how does Shakur get into the same ring and the same venue and the main event for these prize fights?
Well, all he can really do is really his promoter's job to make it happen as much as they can, right? But he can't really do anything. He can talk crap about Tank all he want, about Teofimo, about this fighter, but they got to be willing to get in the ring. So his promoter his job mainly is to get in the ring and perform. Okay, and then he got to get paid off his work. But why do I have a promoter if he's not putting me out there and promote me in the right way to get the fights that I need? So that's what Eddie Hearn and Matchroom's job is, to put him out there. Listen, man, this is the product. Shakur is the product. Look at his record. Look at his accomplishment. Look what he's done. Look where he came from and where he's at now. This is what he deserved. These are the fights he deserved. That's their job to do that, whether he talks or doesn't talk. But he's a talker. Right? So he wants to fight. So it's not him. So it's really not too much you can do when fighters are ducking. You just got to go with the flow and hope you can get the fight. But he definitely, Crawford went through that. And finally, got the fights that he wanted, and then he showed out. And the same thing is going to happen with Shakur. And the same thing will happen, but we'll get to that. We'll talk about him. I'll bring him up.
Who's this?
Well, I was going to say as well, that top 10 list, I could definitely break up that top 10 list and put my man Boots in there. He belong on that top 10 list. You could take Nakatani up out of there. You could take Better BF goes down. Yeah, Boots need to be on that list.
I saw Boots being mentioned as like how you say that, like an honorable mention. But you mentioned Boots last time, but let's talk about Boots real quick. So Jaron Boots Ennis or Ennis?
Jaron Ennis, yeah.
So Jaron Ennis, Boots Ennis. How old is he? Around early 20s?
28.
Oh, he's 28. So he's seasoned already. You see the same thing happening for him as you see with Crawford and really
it's happening.
Shakur Stevenson.
It's happening because at 147, he was trying to fight Crawford. He couldn't get that fight. I'm not saying Crawford was afraid. I'm just saying maybe it didn't make sense to them at the time. He couldn't get the fight with Spence. He was ranked number 1 in the IBF. He couldn't get that fight. So though, if you want to call it a duck, you can, you whatever, but he wanted those fights, right? He wanted to prove himself. Then they left. They went up. Well, Crawford and Spence fought. He beat him. Spence retired, so he wasn't going to get that fight. And then Crawford moved up. So now it left him in that division, and he didn't have really anybody to fight. So he was trying to unify. He was trying to become undisputed at 147. So he fought Stanionis, Emantis Stanionis, in April of this year. He beat him. Stanionis was supposed to fight Roger Ortiz 2 times, but Roger Ortiz had some health issues, and he finally moved up to 154. Boots was also trying to fight Roger Ortiz at 147. He ducked him, right? So now he moved up. Boots was there. He beat Stanionis in April, and now he's trying to unify with Barrios, who moved up to welterweight after getting beat by Tank. He moved up to welterweight. He had a belt. And Brian Norman Jr., he had a belt. So he couldn't get Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. turned down $1.7 million to fight Boots. He went over to Japan and fought a fighter named Jin Sasaki. He beat him, knocked him out, but we didn't know nothing about Sasaki. I looked him up. Average fighter. got knocked out before. Okay, they knew they was gonna get that. And then Mario Barrios, his excuse was that his wife was pregnant. Next thing you know, he's in a contract with Manny Pacquiao, who was off for 4 years. So yeah, the ducking thing is real.
What do you like about your Boots? What do you love about him? You know, even more, I'll say more so than Shakur Stevenson, because those are the two guys you always bring up. And I think you have an underdog spirit to you, like me, like myself. What stands out about him versus a Shakur Stevenson, maybe a Bud Crawford that put more fear in these guys?
Well, I think if you remember me, I remember I told you, I think it was yesterday when we talked. Or I may have or may have not mentioned, but I found out recently that when he was sparring with Canelo, he was also sparring with Yonelis Hernandez, who's a Cuban boxer with about 8 fights under his belt. And he sparred Boots, and they asked him, whose power you felt more? And he said he felt the power of Boots more than he felt Canelo's power. And that's with 16-ounce gloves. So one thing he has is great power. He could knock you down or maybe even stop you damn near with a jab. His jab is powerful, like straight stiff jab. He's a combination puncher. He's fast. He's a switch hitter. And it looks so natural when he does it. He switches back and forth like you don't even know. Footwork, defense is crazy. He got it all. Total package.
So he's just a total package, even compared to, I haven't heard that in a while.
Total package. Total package. Coming out of Philly. Total package.
And he's a Philly fighter.
Yeah, total package. Total package.
Them guys are different. The Philly bloodline is insane.
Different. Way different.
Shout out to Joe Frazier. God bless. He needs a statue out there. Like Bill Burr said, the hell you got a statue of a fake character like Rocky, but you ain't got one of Joe Frazier.
Ain't that crazy, man? Or B-Hop. What about B-Hop?
Right.
Come
on. My favorite B-Hop quote is, man, I was 40-0 on the streets, all knockouts. I said, yo,
right.
B-Hop is crazy. Let's get to some of these comments, man. Elijah Lundberg, Terrence Crawford is the goal, hands down. Matt Carter, what's going on? You got a brother of a certain age. He's on your channel, actually. And man, he said Bud also had Arum talking down on him, saying he wasn't marketable. Bob Arum. Forgot the name of his company. I really don't even care to shout it out. I hope you get no love whatsoever. Floyd embarrassed you as far as the promotion goes. He told you cannot market me as some all-American dude, champion like Muhammad Ali. The new thing is the hip-hop culture, and that this is what I fit. It's my style. Floyd Mayweather totally just showed you what it is, especially in the social media era, which is where a lot of these boxers, I seen Shakur and even Tank, they're participating in that. Just a lot of chatter. I think I did get your response to that before. First of all, we want to respond to that about Bob Arum and also Tank Davis. After that, I'll get your response to that question. That's my personal.
Bob Arum. Remember, he had a history. He had Floyd Mayweather. He had De La Hoya. Left him. Floyd finally left him after 10 years, and then Shakur left him recently, the most recent to leave him, and now he's doing much better. He doesn't market Top Rank. They don't market their fighters, and they get a lot of credit. They're big a promotional company, but yeah, they don't do their job. They're like crooks. They're like crooks.
So we're at least Don King was out here in your face. Just he was I used to say he was a crook, but he was doing it. He didn't care. He entertained us. Bob Arum, you provide. You don't tap dance. You don't sing. You don't do nothing. And then the fact that thank you for bringing up De La Hoya. De La Hoya and then Floyd, who promoted himself. Yes, we have to give again credit to De La Hoya because the Golden Boy thing was really where Floyd was fighting a lot with Golden Boy and helped himself get to this, catapult himself to this level. So Shakur and maybe Boots talk to De La Hoya, or is his name dirty out here? And because I don't see why De La Hoya doesn't get more love. I know Canelo went with Dazin, but come on now, De La Hoya maybe could propel these guys.
Well, no, unfortunately, De La Hoya turned into a crook, right? So he came from that, knows what it's about, but now he's doing the same things or similar, maybe not on the same level, but maybe doing it in a different way. Because crooks and robbers and thieves, they know how to do things they become enhanced, they become modern, so they do it in a different way. So that's what he has done now, and so nobody stays with him. He don't got no great fighters that's with him now, right? Maybe one or two, but he don't really have no great batch of fighters because of what he's been doing. So yeah, Floyd is the one that could show you really how to do it, because he started promoting himself and was very successful, we know. And he's still successful because now he's making all his money off exhibition. So yeah, these guys, man, these promoters, man, you gotta get, really honestly, man, these fighters gotta make their money and start their own thing, man, their own promotions, man, and do it themselves, because they don't really do what they're supposed to do. They don't do their job.
I see Nostalgic Nick, what's up to you, my brother? Tank versus Bud will be historic. And that brought me to, my Tank Davis question. Not sure about, I get it. He's gonna be he's a highlight reel. He's automatic. Come on, we've seen this before. Mike Tyson and all these guys have just been knocking people out. What's your reaction to Tank Davis' approach to boxing? I know he said he wanted to quit at some point, and it's a lot going on with him. Because I think, thinking of Mike Tyson dealing with the celebrity along with, I don't know if you can handle that level of fame, because when you're a knockout artist, you're a home run hitter, you're the slam dunk champion in basketball. It's a different level of appeal, and maybe he has a lot of power here that he doesn't need the golden boy. That's a guy right there that I don't need too much promotion, guys. I just knock people out. What do you feel about Tank Davis's approach to boxing, and is it, I don't say helping or ruining the Shakur Stevensons and the Boots of the world? Is he helping or hurting the game?
Well, Tank, I've never been a big Tank fan. I like the fact that he knocks people out, and he's a good fighter, good boxer, and all of that. But I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he carries himself. The women beating allegations and the disrespect. When he disrespects fighters, and don't bring your mother, don't bring your family, don't bring your children. All of that. I'm not into that, right? And he did that with a few fighters. But when he did it with Lamont Roach, of course, it didn't work. Lamont Roach was like, well, he said, why did you bring your mother at the press conference? He said, I told you not to bring your mother. He said, well, I brought my mother because she liked to see me whip ass. And Tank didn't have no response for that, right? And then we saw what happened in the fight. Lamont Roach actually won the fight, and they gave it to Tank. And we all saw him take a knee because you got punched, right? You didn't have no grease in your eye, because when the corner man came to the corner, he didn't wipe your eye. He wiped your head real quick, and then boom, you got back in the ring. He didn't go watch it. He didn't wipe his eye. So you had grease in your eye. Like, man, stop it. He didn't even really touch right here. He just went like that, and boom, you was back in the ring. So he's another one, man. I got a lot of slack, like, similar with him, because I wasn't going with him with Lamont Roach, because I knew Lamont Roach was a different beast. And now we see, yeah, man, he lost that fight. So I'm not really a Tank dude, but Tank is a cash cow dude as well. He brings money to the table, and let's see what he does. All that retirement. See, yeah, he was talking about leaving soon before the Lamont Roach. I'm not going to front on it. However, when the fight came up, he was locked in, and he said he was going to stop him like everybody else. So he was locked in just like he was with everybody else, and it didn't happen. So now you go and do Jake Paul, have your little exhibition, make a lot of money, but what you going to do after that? Because now when he comes up for the ballot for Hall of Fame, they're going to question, man, why didn't you, you had a close fight with Lamont Roach. Why didn't you give him a rematch? So he got to give him that rematch. And for me, I always said Shakur would box his pants off. Shakur could beat him. Shakur could outbox him. So let's see what happens.
I think it would work well for him, because I always think of why didn't George Foreman fight Ernie Shavers? You're gonna hear me say that a lot. For all you guys who think I'm new to this, I am new to this, but I am true to this also.
No. You know stuff, bro. You know what you're talking about.
I got the Ant-Man cosign. I'm going to be gassed up forever. Flea, I don't care what you're saying, Flea. It's over for you. I'm calling you on FaceTime after this, embarrassing you. Ant-Man.
No doubt.
Look at Sports Prediction 101. Just sub to your channel, bro. Keep doing your thing. Yo, I appreciate you. Anybody who doesn't know, in this corner boxing 24, you got Ant-Man right here. You hear him. He showed up after he predicted Crawford was going to lose the fight. He's here showing his face.
That's right.
Subscribe to that channel. Come on now, all ball family. You doing with the Nets hat on, Ant-Man? You're supposed to get the Yankees or something, man. A brother of a certain age, he said Michael Moore came on from light heavyweight. Okay, think that's the conversation from earlier. Benavidez is higher than Shakur based on competition, but that's a good list, though. You agree or disagree, Ant?
Absolutely. I said that. I said David Benavidez should be in that top 3. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like now, I mean, Bud is who he is. I'm gonna put Benavidez as number 2.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got, come on, man, Caleb Plant, Andre, David Morrell, and now he getting ready to fight Anthony Yard, who, even though he got beat by Beterbiev, but after that, he gonna fight Bivol. So he going for it, bro. He ain't playing. If he beat Bivol, man, listen, him and Canelo gonna be running neck and neck. I mean, him and Crawford gonna be running neck and neck.
Okay. And then you get a lot more of the promotion behind him and everything because he's gonna be knocking down big names.
Right. And see, that's the problem with boxing, right? Because he should be in that status like Floyd was, like the current fighters now that are in that comment. Like everybody want to keep talking about Usyk. What about Benavidez, man? Come on, man. Like that dude is the Mexican monster. He fights anybody. He wanted Canelo at 168. Canelo ducked the fight. Like, come on, bro. He gotta be there.
My man said Benavidez is blood in, blood out here, man.
Man, absolutely. That's the dude right there, man. And I met him. Humble dude. Like I took a picture with him and all that at the Barclays Center a few years ago. Like him and his brother. Like humble, bro.
King's Speech was going on. People saying Bud ran or bugging. Yeah. That it depends like depends how you look at it. Like I said, we talked about that. Hope you caught that King's Speech. King's Speech is another guy, super sports fan, Ant-Man. So he watches everything. We met through basketball here, but yeah, I don't agree he was running. I think he was
he was moving. He was moving. He was boxing. He was moving, and he was setting his traps. He knew what he was doing.
Absolutely. Great fight. Great weekend for boxing. Elijah Lundberg didn't realize we were live. We are live with Elijah Lundberg. I always believed Crawford would win, but I had no idea he'll make it look that easy because Canelo is a true champion. Yeah, we agree. That's what we want.
Absolutely.
Possibly want to see a rematch because more so than anything else, just to wrap this up, Ant-Man, more so than anything else, Crawford deserves as much money as possible. I don't know if you're ever going to be hotter than this. And then for us, any boxing fan, and then anybody who's a casual, which I'm more casual, but you captured.
I wouldn't say you casual. I wouldn't say you casual because you're a sports person. You know sports. So I'm not gonna call you a casual because you know if you into sports and competition, which basketball is, football is, and boxing is one-on-one competition, then you're not a casual. A casual is a person, they don't even know nothing about the fighter. They've never seen him fight, and they go to the fight, oh yeah, and they hyped up. Never seen none of his fights. That's a casual. Like they just there for the moment.
I'm almost glad Flea isn't on the screen because he would have been sucking his teeth and rolling his eyes, and you ain't the only one out here.
Right.
But we are certainly glad, and thank you for that, Ant-Man. But we are certainly glad because this is rare, where Floyd earned it, but he pissed a lot of people off with his style. But it was like Floyd deserves every dollar. He deserves your dollars, as a matter of fact. He should have been taking 90% because that's how much he hyped the thing. But Crawford, that's not his style. So he won our hearts over. He's been won our hearts over, first of all. But just to see a guy in this position when a rematch does come up, we're gonna love this. We're gonna love this. Elijah, hey, yeah, please catching strays all day, Matthew. Strays, directs, whatever you want. Elijah, we earned a subscriber here. Thank you. If you subscribe to our channel, All Ball TV, got a favorite perspective, and of course, in this
absolutely. Please subscribe.
Subscribe to it all. King Speeches. I'm a boxing casual too. I can break it down when it's a good fight to watch. Yeah. But I like Ant-Man is reviving my just the look, just even the conversation about Crawford versus Canelo was like, what do you know? How do you all of that? The analysis of boxing is just amazing. Ant-Man, I appreciate spending this time with you, my brother.
Before we leave, before we wrap it up, let me just say this. Crawford, I saw an interview today, and he was asked about what's next for him. And he said, we really didn't touch on that too much. But so what's next for Crawford? He said, first I saw an interview with Bomac. Bomac said he wanted to go on vacation, enjoy his family. He said, but when he comes back, we're going back to the lab. We're going back to the gym, right? So that means he's going to fight again. Now, Crawford did an interview and he said, like I already said earlier, he's not fighting at 168. He just did that to get them belts for Canelo and to beat him. He's not going to stay at 168. But what he did say, they asked him about going down to 154, fight Boots. He said that's out of the question. He's not doing that. We could talk about that in another video. That's a topic in and of itself. He said he'll fight at 160, right? Now, 160, there's really, for me, there's nobody there that really could deal with him. They got a dude named Janabek. He hasn't been proven yet. He only got 17 fights. He's undefeated, but he ain't really fought nobody. Landy Lara, he's not in his prime no more. Crawford could beat the brakes off of him. And then you got Carlos Adames, good Cuban fighter, but Crawford would beat the brakes off of him as well. So 160 is not going to fulfill him. He ain't, you know, there's no competition there at all. Even though them guys are younger, but again, Lara's not. Lara's the same age as Crawford, and he's way past his prime. And Janabek is I don't know how old Janabek is, but I know he's 17. No, he's pretty hype, but again, he's not that great. So 160, I don't know how that's going to work out for Crawford.
So what would you rather see him do, 154?
I would love to see him fight Boots, man. That's what I would like. You know what I mean? But yeah, if he's not going to do that, I think he should probably. I mean, I can't tell him what to do, but I would say if he decides he want to go to 160 and conquer them dudes and become undisputed there, I mean, that's he got every right to do that. I can't tell him, but you know, I would rather see him fight Boots. But them dudes can't handle him. Them dudes is not that good at 160 right now. That division is not a hot division. The hot division is 154 and honestly 135. Those are the two hottest divisions.
And if you want to hear why Crawford should fight Boots, why he may be ducking them in this corner boxing 24, I call him Ant-Man, the Ant-Man, the real Ant-Man. We're changing all his names on all platforms, social media platforms, the real Ant-Man. Ant-Man's been fun. Definitely a fun weekend for boxing. Hopefully we see some more of these because, come on, man, real competition. You know, yes, UFC, a little brutal for me, but I watch some of that stuff. Love the commenters showing love in this corner boxing 24. Subscribe to that, fellas, ladies and gents. The Darlene the Queen, I see you in the building. I don't know if you snuck in here. Tori B, always showing you love. And of course, you know why. Oh, now and that's the Ant-Man in this corner boxing 24. Sign up for that. Hey, click the memberships if you haven't on our YouTube page. See if we could get this going. Remember, we got getting a lot of things happening right now. A lot of things happening. You don't want to miss it. You can support us any way possible. Share it, like it, subscribe. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Peace. Oh, boy, TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.